work at an organization called East New York Farms, which is in East New York, Brooklyn, almost Queens, end of the three line, very far from here. And we work in the East New York section of Brooklyn to kind of create food access in that neighborhood. It's very underserved, very few grocery stores, a lot of bodegas that don't have fresh food. And we've created a program that works with youth on our own half-acre piece of land to grow food for the neighborhood. We work with community gardens. East New York has over 60 community gardens. It's more than any other neighborhood in Brooklyn, probably the entire city. And we have our own farmers market that the youth can sell their food at and the gardeners can sell their food at, and we work with regional farmers. One thing we started with the help of Heifer a few years ago is keeping bees. We have 2 hives of our own, but we've been working to develop a beekeeping apprenticeship with gardeners in the neighborhood so that they can keep their own bees for all the reasons that you've already heard. Pollination, especially for the food that we grow, and flowers and trees to make the neighborhood beautiful. I guess increasing biodiversity in the neighborhood, just more things out there to pollinate. Is always good. It's a great educational tool for the youth that we work with, for all the kids that come through our garden from local schools, and just kind of a lesson in stewardship and I think humility when you're working with living creatures that you're taking care of and trying to provide a home for. And lastly, we use it for probably the best tasting form of economic development that you can find. We want to encourage gardeners to create honey or help bees to create honey that they can sell at our market. So East New Yorkers can go right to the market and buy Brooklyn-produced honey along with their Brooklyn-grown vegetables in a neighborhood that has one farmer's market for 180,000 people. A couple weekends ago, we installed 3 hives in 3 different gardens in East New York, Brooklyn, in addition to our 2 hives. And we're working with classes through Jim and a couple other organizations that are out there to help these people keep bees in the best way that they can and produce honey for their own pollination and economic viability. And it's just such an incredible experience to take this box with thousands of bees in it and give a big hard shake and dump them into their new home. And there's thousands of individual pollinators in there that are going to help us individually pollinate these tomatoes, these cucumbers, bitter melons, long beans that'll produce fruit for the community, but also they flow out of their box into their new home like water, like one organism clinging together that works as a unit, as a hive. And that's kind of the vision we have for the community of East New York, all working together to kind of create food justice for the neighborhood. So if you'd like to come out to our market, it's really fun, and I have some info about how to get involved if you ever want to come all the way out to Brooklyn. It's great to see our hive. But I also have a petition here for legalizing beekeeping in New York City. Right now it's illegal under the Health Code 16101. It's under review this summer, and it's really just under a code that says that you can't harbor wild animals. And we have a lot of support behind it, but we would love your signature. So I'm going to pass this around. There's a fact sheet on the front. If you guys have any questions about beekeeping, there's stuff here, and I'm sure you can ask any of the beekeepers. And then on the next page here, we have the signature sheet. So
just to give some confidence to your signature, I think this is probably the last major city in the world to allow. London, Paris.
Chicago has bees on the roof of City Hall. They're kind of the lead of greening
Paris Opera.
Paris Opera has them on the roof. And
yeah.
Paris Opera honey.
Yeah.
The White House now has a bee hive.
The White House.
How long?
We're not going to allow wild animals.